The space appears immediately understandable. The lighting supports clear spatial awareness. Illumination follows expected patterns.
Orientation subtly influences perception.
Surfaces quietly register brightness. The shadow, shortened here beneath the chair, clearly indicates the precise position of the light source. Walls respond differently to light. Clarity can vary subtly.
Materials mirror light conditions.
Symmetry is often assumed.
Color perception shifts gently.
Depth cues emerge naturally. Even lighting is rarely exact.
Attention often follows brightness.
Reflections suggest spatial continuity.
Perception adjusts quietly.
Light direction shapes spatial reading.
Boundaries gain definition through light.
Small variations accumulate quietly.
Surfaces respond predictably to illumination.
Contrast guides separation.
Grounding is visually reinforced. The narration observes that diffusion softens perception. Visual stability often precedes deeper noticing.
The direction of light does not fully correspond to its source. The direction of light does not fully correspond to its source. As you can see here, shadows can sometimes imply additional structure.
Brightness appears displaced from its origin.
Geometry feels less rigid than expected.
Proximity no longer predicts intensity.
Illumination favors unexpected surfaces.
Light distribution appears reversed.
Depth cues no longer agree.
Surfaces suggest alternate directions.
Centering has become uncertain. Origins are becoming unclear.
Uniform objects receive uneven attention.
Depth cues feel misplaced.
That contact feels irregular.
In this space, we observe that proximity no longer improves clarity.
Proportion feels unstable.
Emphasis has drifted.
The edges no longer correspond. The surfaces behave as if pre-lit.
Shadow density has reversed.
Reflections imply unseen forms. Distance has lost meaning.
Separation occurs without movement.
The orientation cues, now conflict.
Coherence can fracture without announcement.
Timing is inferred rather than directly perceived.
Responses do not occur simultaneously.
Duration is visually estimated.
The sequence can feel reversible.
Simultaneity is assumed rather than verified.
We observe that the relationship between cause and effect has been fundamentally reconstructed.
Motion can be implied without movement.
Sharpness and time diverge. Order can invert quietly. Boundaries are temporally negotiated.
Movement can be perceived without displacement. Time, it seems, does not always move forward uniformly. Sometimes it layers visually, casting a history onto the present.
Perception stitches moments together.
The contact shadow beneath the chair appears temporally detached. This suggests that presence itself can sometimes drift in time.
Persistence is perceptual rather than physical.
Objects occupy separate times. Here, anticipation is visually constructed. The shadow arrives before the object it represents.
Nearness is not always spatial.
Moments do not align cleanly.
The sequence is notable. Observation confirms the reflection materialized slightly before the shadow underneath. It is, in essence, a reconstruction.
Time fragments across surfaces.
Coherence requires continuous correction. Perception trails events.
The present is assembled from offsets.
Temporal unity is an assumption rather than a guarantee.
The room presents a configuration that no longer calls for adjustment.
Balance can arrive without explanation.
Uniformity often signals completion.
Predictability reduces scrutiny.
Clarity returns without announcement. Spatial logic appears intact.
Recognition resumes automatically.
The gradients align with expectation.
Grounding feels restored.
Coherence no longer requires effort.
Symmetry often implies resolution. The room offers no resistance to interpretation.
Agreement feels conclusive.
Correspondence has been restored.
Time feels implicit rather than examined.
Familiarity can resemble closure.
Visual processes appear complete.
The absence of contradiction feels deliberate.
Understanding often marks an endpoint.
Cooperation reduces attention.
The spatial relationships here are self-evident. An explanation truly feels unnecessary.
Time feels neutral.
Attention has nowhere specific to settle.
The description feels sufficient.
The room offers itself as complete.